The government has free certifications that pay $80,000 a year. They'll train you to inspect meat, spot nuclear threats, and respond to the next pandemic. And almost nobody applies for them. Today, I'm telling you everything. Let's get straight to it. Number 10, the CDC's Public Health Emergency Response Certification. You know how people panic when a new virus shows up? The CDC has a free certification that teaches you exactly what to do when the next pandemic hits. It's called the Public Health Emergency Response Certification. It's free, takes about 4 hours, and you get an official CDC certificate. The course covers the incident command system, how to set up a mass vaccination clinic, and how to track disease spread. You learn the difference between isolation, separating sick people from healthy ones, and quarantine, separating exposed people who might get sick. You also learn how to set up a point of dispensing, a pod, which is basically a drive-through for vaccines or meds. The CDC is actively training people because they realized in 2020 they didn't have enough trained staff. You can complete the training online. It's free. And when the next pandemic hits, you'll know exactly what to do. That's information most people pay for. Number 9, the NOAA Storm Spotter Certification. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has a free program that trains civilians to spot severe weather. It's called the Storm Spotter Program. You learn how to identify tornadoes, hail, and damaging winds. You also learn how to report them to the National Weather Service. The training is free and takes about 2 hours. You get a certification and become part of a network of spotters that the NWS relies on for ground truth reports. Doppler radar can tell you there's rotation in a cloud, but only a trained spotter can tell you if a tornado actually touched down. The NWS issues warnings based on spotter reports. Without them, they rely entirely on radar. The program has been running since the 1970s and has saved thousands of lives. Most counties have a spotter coordinator. You can find your local program through your county emergency management office. You're not just a citizen anymore. You're the eyes on the ground. Number 8, the USDA Meat and Poultry Inspection Certification. You ever wonder who's actually checking the meat at the processing plant? The USDA will train you for free to become a meat and poultry inspector. It's called the Food Safety and Inspection Service Training. You learn how to identify contamination, check for proper temperature, and spot signs of disease in animals before they're processed. The training is self-paced, takes about 40 hours, and you get an official USDA credential. The U.S. consumes over 100 million pounds of meat every single day. Every single pound that's inspected is checked by a human being. The USDA is constantly hiring because the turnover is high. Inspectors work in processing plants, sometimes early hours, and the job can be physically demanding. But the pay is good, and the benefits are federal. FSIS inspectors start at around $40,000 a year and can reach over $80,000 with experience. And you get to tell people you're literally the person who keeps their food from killing them. Number 7, the EPA Lead and Asbestos Inspector Certification. Your house is probably hiding something toxic. The EPA has a free certification that teaches you to find lead paint and asbestos. It's called the Lead Renovation, Repair, and Painting Program Certification. It's free and takes about 8 hours. You learn how to identify lead hazards, contain them, and safely remove them. The training also covers asbestos, which is still found in millions of homes built before 1980. Lead paint was banned in 1978, but it's still in older homes. Asbestos was used in insulation, floor tiles, and ceiling materials. Disturbing it releases fibers that can cause lung cancer. Contractors are required to have this certification if they work on pre-1978 homes. But homeowners can take the training too. You can inspect your own home, save thousands on professional inspections, and actually know what's putting your family at risk. The EPA has been pushing this training for years. Few people take advantage of it. Number 6, the Bureau of Prisons Correctional Officer Certification. The federal government is desperate for prison guards. The Bureau of Prisons runs a free training program for correctional officers. It's called the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center Correctional Program. You learn inmate management, emergency response, and how to handle violent situations. The training takes 6 weeks, and you get certified to work in any federal facility. The BOP is currently facing a staffing crisis. Over 20% of federal correctional officer positions are vacant. They're offering hiring bonuses and relocation assistance. Starting pay is around $50,000 a year, with overtime pushing it much higher. You get federal benefits, a pension, and the ability to retire after 20 years. The job comes with real risks and mental health challenges, but it's one of the few federal jobs where you can get hired without a college degree. The BOP runs hiring fairs every month. Number 5, the State Department Diplomatic Security Training. The State Department has a free certification that teaches you how to protect diplomats abroad. It's called the Diplomatic Security Service Training. You learn surveillance detection, counterterrorism, and how to secure a building against attack. It takes about 40 hours, and you get a federal certificate. The program is designed for people who might work overseas on diplomatic missions. It covers how to identify a tail, what to do if you're being followed, and how to secure a safe room. The State Department also offers a separate certification for overseas security specialists who contract with embassies to provide security services. Contractors can make $80,000 to $120,000 a year, depending on the location. In high-risk countries, the pay is even higher. You're not just learning theory. You're learning how to survive in a dangerous environment. Number 4, the NNSA Nuclear Security Certification. The National Nuclear Security Administration has a free program that certifies people to handle nuclear material. It's called the Nuclear Security Training Program. You learn how nuclear materials are stored, transported, and secured. It covers the physical security of nuclear facilities and what to do in case of a breach. The training takes about 4 hours and gives you an official NNSA certificate. The NNSA is responsible for securing the nuclear weapons stockpile. They train security personnel for Department of Energy facilities. The jobs in this field pay very well. Security officers at nuclear facilities start at around $70,000 a year and can exceed $100,000 with overtime. The training is open to civilians. You don't need a security clearance to take the course. You just need to pass a background check for the job. The NNSA has been struggling to fill positions for years. Number 3, the NIST Cybersecurity Framework Certification. The National Institute of Standards and Technology has a free framework that teaches you how to secure computer networks. It's called the NIST Cybersecurity Framework. It's free, self-paced, and gives you a credential that private sector employers recognize. The framework covers how to identify vulnerabilities, protect systems, detect breaches, and respond to attacks. It was developed after a presidential executive order in 2013. It's now the standard used by federal agencies and many Fortune 500 companies. The NIST framework is recognized globally. Cybersecurity professionals who understand NIST are in high demand. The median salary for cybersecurity analysts is over $110,000 a year. You can take the course online. Most people don't realize it's free. The private sector will pay for it because it's cheaper than training you from scratch. Number 2, the DHS Transportation Security Certification. The Department of Homeland Security has a free certification that teaches you to spot threats in transportation hubs. It's called the Transportation Security Certification Program. You learn how to identify suspicious behavior, screen cargo, and secure airports, train stations, and ports. The training takes 4 hours and gives you an official DHS credential. The TSA is constantly hiring for security screening positions. But this certification goes beyond screening. You learn to identify cargo tampering, unauthorized access, and insider threats. You also learn how to coordinate with local law enforcement during an emergency. The training is free. The credential can be used for jobs at airports, shipping ports, and rail yards. The transportation security industry is growing rapidly. Demand for trained personnel is high because the government is required to screen millions of passengers and tons of cargo every day. Number 1, the USAID International Disaster Response Certification. The U.S. Agency for International Development has a free program that certifies people to respond to international disasters. It's called the Disaster Response Certification Program. You learn how to set up shelter, distribute food and water, and coordinate with the host government. It takes about 6 hours and gives you an official USAID credential. The training covers how to assess damage, prioritize response, and avoid common mistakes that make things worse. It also covers cultural sensitivity and working with local governments. The certification qualifies you to work with aid organizations like the Red Cross, FEMA, and international NGOs. Disaster response specialists make $50,000 to $80,000 a year. The work is demanding, but you're helping people who have lost everything. The program has trained thousands of people. Most of them are still working in disaster response. The U.S. government is involved in disaster response globally, and they need trained people to do it. That's it for this video. More on the way. Subscribe to catch them.